Hello everyone, and welcome to Icky Chic Designs and books, of course. As you know, I love both, and so I mix them here on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making some little tiny booklets, and I'll show you how I'm doing mine right now, and maybe you could find something like this enjoyable for you. I have made in the past these belly band strips, and they're let's see, they're about these are about 9 inches, but I think this one's about 6, so they're about 2 inches wide. And what I have done is sew a paper strip down the center of these different fabric elements. This was gathered fabric, and then I sewed these little squares of different fabric to the center of that, and then the paper strip to the back of that. This was a piece of eyelet trim, a little torn fabric, a little more torn fabric sewn down the center, and again, paper element down the center of the back of that. This is also another eyelet trim with some fabric and another little trim there with the paper on the back. And same thing here. You can design these all day long if you've got a little fabric and a little lace or trim. Don't forget to tear and rip and use whatever it is that you need. You can cut laces in two, whatever you need to do to make it work. Now, like I said, I have already sewn the paper backing to the center of these because I use a lot of these as belly bands, and this just makes it easy to glue on the page. So that's the first use of these that you can make. Now, the other thing that I'm doing right now, since I have quite a few of these made, is I'm cutting them to create little booklets. Okay, this is a little 6 signature booklet, and this is just a piece of one of these strips that I've made that's cut to fit that, just like that. Okay, and what I'm going to do is first of all is I'm going to glue this strip to the first side of one of the pages that's going in the little signature. Okay, I'm just going to do that so that it holds to that page well. Okay, so just kind of center it and press it down. Clean up the glue. I got it too far on that one. Make sure it will fold. And I'm going to cut just a little bit of this off on the end, so all that glue won't be a problem there. Okay, just press that really down good, and so that makes a cute little cover. Okay, then let's see what I do. Okay, here are the other inserts that went in there. Like I said, what I've done is I've taken just 3 pieces of paper that for me right now, these are 3 by 4s. They fit this little format book that I want here because it turns out to be 2 by 3. So yeah, 2 by 3. All right, so now that's on there. So now all I'm going to do here is, for this booklet, since it's so small, is I'm just going to staple the center. I'm going to come in far enough to make sure I catch that fabric on the outside. Okay, so you can see that that's just stapled on the inside and will turn. Okay, now what I like to do is I like to go on the back side and close these staples down as much as I can. Okay, all right, and that. And then I like to take, a piece of paper, something that buffers that fabric so that I can run this along and press it down a little bit more so that it lays as flat as it can at that point. Now, what I would do with this is I would tie a ribbon closure, much like I have on these little fabric books, made exactly the same way. I just put a little ribbon closure on that. Here's another one with a little ribbon closure. Okay. Now these are made from the fabric designer fabric rolls that I make in my sell in my Etsy shop. These are out of strips that I create, fabric strips that I create, and sometimes I have some really narrow ones. So what I will do with that is I will put two together, however I want to do it. Let's say like this. I will sew that together, and then that will make a little book cover when I can use it that way. So you don't throw anything away. Now another thing that I do with these strips that I use like this is when I got through, I had a little piece like this left over. It still has the paper on the back. Now what I do with these is I create my page tabs, these little end pieces. I turn that over and I will sew right along there, and then when that's sewn, this part will open up. You can slide it onto your page and glue it, and because it's sewn across here, it will only go down to that line of stitching, so that leaves the tab free on top. As you can see, that would leave the tab area showing, and but your paper is already there, so it glues permanently to the page you want to put it on, top, bottom, side, wherever you want to put it. So if you have any left over, and this is about, again, 2 inches wide, so time that you turn it, put a 1/4 inch seam right down through there. Then you can use it as a tab, like I said, like that. So I get a couple things out of one of these strips. Sometimes the strip is long enough I can get 2 of the little booklet things. So let's try another one and see how that works. Let's choose our paper here. I usually do one decorated side up, flip the inside, and do the other side. So that way, when I fold it, I get a little difference in there. I get some blank pages, some color, art pages, and so forth. Okay, and then I'll just simply round out the corners. Sometimes I don't even do that all the time. Sometimes I just rough them up more. But you can also ink these or do what you want to like that. You can even, you know, decorate them before you put them in your book, or however you want to work with them. Now, let's take this strip, and I'm going to cut down real close to that paper because I want it to glue to the edge. Okay, when I do it, so I'm going to find the center. Okay. All right, that looks like that would cover it pretty well. All right. Then what I will do is I will come up this side and cut so that I don't have a lot of overhang. And actually this one's long enough that I can get 2 out of it. Okay, so again, what we're going to do, I'm going to take this first page and I'm going to glue this paper element to it. Now, like I said, I have quite a few of these made up in advance. Usually when I work on something, I make quite a few of them at one time, even when I don't know what I want to do with it, because at some point I am going to use it. And so when you have things already made up, it makes the process a whole lot faster. So because I've got a stack of these, I can make a lot of these at one time. Okay. Glue on the edges. Don't worry about imperfections and ragged edges and torn and seams and threads. That all makes for design element for me. I like the chaotic, torn, rustic, shabby, whatever you want to call it. I like that look. And more strings, the better. Okay, that looks good, doesn't it? All right, then we will add our signature back in to there, and then we will staple it. Again, make sure that you come in enough that you catch the fabric element on the outside, since it doesn't reach all the way to the top and bottom of the book. You're going to have to make sure your staples come inside. Okay, again, I like to try to close up these staples as much as possible. Don't want anybody hurting themselves on them. Okay. What I do with my paper, there it is. This is so that I won't ruin the fabric that I've got under there. Okay. All right. Now this is ready to go. Tie a little something around it. Like I love to use fabric, as you can tell, and sometimes I use ribbon. So you just tie that around there, and you got it made. Again, you can make another booklet, or you could cut a couple of these and make your page tabs out of them, whichever would work for you. So these are easy to make. You can create them any way you want to. Of course, this is sewn elements, but you could always adapt this to paper and make your strips, decorate your strips. Then you already have a paper backing. When you cut them, they're ready to be a cover. But since I love to incorporate fabric, I try to find a way to use everything I make with fabric and try to find a way to adapt it to the junk journal elements. And that always gives something different. And designer has a designer feel when you find them inside your journals. Okay. All right, that's all for this, and I hope you enjoy making these little booklets. I know I do. Bye-bye.